Hello and welcome. My name is Alan, and today we're starting a new series, Notable Names in Native American Heritage History Month. Like I've been doing for the other peoples who contribute to American history, this is the month for Native American. But before we do any peoples, notable people individually, I figured I'd start off the first episode by talking a bit about the different Native Americans populations all over the place. If you are or not, maybe not aware, the Native American population was heavily in North America, Canada, United States, Mexico. Because you even have the Native American peoples there, the Aztecs, the Olmecs, the Mayan, and it goes on through South America. Now, I'm sure most people think, when they think of Native American, they think of USA, but it's American. Native American. So it's the peoples who were throughout North and South America. And they have quite a history here, but even before them, there were some earlier peoples. Shoot. I'm trying to think of the name. I can't remember the name of the civilization. But it was peoples that inherited the land before, were on the land before even what we know as Native Americans settled there. They even have legends telling of people who had settled um, goodness gracious, what was the name of that civilization? They have a scientific name for it. Anyway, yeah. Regardless, there are numerous tribes. What I've done is pulled us up some maps to look at. The first, this is nativeland.ca, which is a Canadian address, but yeah, you can see, even getting down into the Caribbean, they've got peoples from all over. The Maya, I think Aztecs were further up in this area here. Anyway, Humanos or Humanos. I'm pretty sure It might be a little further down towards Mexico City that the Aztecs were, but anyway, yeah. There was so many different tribes. You can see the way tribal territory kind of overlapped. And you can see some of them were big stretches. This blue one here, look how far it was. The Salagueti, or Cherokee Eastern Band, had quite the territory, which is this kind of brownish territory in here. So you can see it's pretty big. It covers quite a bit. Modern Eastern Band Cherokee territory is like right here, Cherokee, North Carolina. But yeah. You'll see a number of different bands that are pretty big. Choctaw. And another thing we need to realize, a lot of the names of the different bands of Native Americans weren't what they called themselves. Often, they were the names that were often bastardized by English or Spanish speakers, since it wasn't what they normally said. And that was a bastardization through that the names they picked up to describe the next tribe over. Because when you're first exploring a land, who lives over this way? Who lives over this way? Who lives... And so, yeah. Many of the names weren't originally what the tribes called themselves. Anyway. Yeah, the Seminole, Muskogee, Muskogo. There's the Muskogee. Like I said, Choctaw, the Cherokee. Like I was been trying to say though, several tribes. Pawnee. And then, of course, you get up here, the Iroquois Confederation, which is several Iroquois tribes. That were closely related, but were actually different tribes. I mean, you can see up here Potawatomi, Ho-Chunk, Kickapoo, Sauk, Fox. And one thing you'll see a lot of is tribal words that were often adopted in describing the U.S. or naming places in the U.S. Peoria. There's a city, Peoria, Illinois. Let's see. The Chesapeake. There is the bay, I think, right in here is called Chesapeake Bay. But you can go all over the map. You'll see plenty of names that other parts of America are named for. Cheyenne. There's a Cheyenne, Wyoming. Obispo. There's a San Luis Obispo in California. So, yeah. Like I'm saying, there's a lot of names that you'll see are very familiar, and you'll see, oh, they come from this. This is how they get their name. We're looking up here in Alaska and stuff now, but yeah. But all over the North American continent. So, I don't want people just to assume Native Americans were only in the U.S. because it's far from the truth. In fact, this particular map, let me back out of it. As you can see, it shows all this North and South America, but you can also see indigenous peoples from around other parts of the world. They don't have much in the way of Europe, but got some of the other peoples, Africa. And then you get into Asia. There's Japan. We got the Ainu people. Yep, Ainu. I know them as the natives of the original native peoples of Japan. The Ryukyu. And then down on this bottom island, you got, looks like 2 tribes. 2 or 3, maybe. And then we get further up here. That's back to the Alaska. Let's see. We got Hawaii, Namoko'eha. A lot of your Hawaii and places like that are going to be Pacific Islanders, so different groups of Pacific Islanders. Tumadak. Oh. Let's see. There's Australia. It's got a number of Aboriginal peoples, if you know with Australia. A number of Aboriginal peoples. New Zealand. But anyway, yeah. I just wanted to kind of look at that, give you all an idea. We have now getting into back to North America, we can look at, check out the maps by area. Quebec, where the tribes are listed, and they'll list tribes. That's in data.native. I think it's supposed to be Native Ministries or something like that, but it's nativemi.org. Yeah, Canada and the US, you can do that. And this is nativelanguages.org. They have, you can go in and look at the different ones. They have kind of a breakdown. See, I'd never heard of Yuchi as a peoples. I know Cherokee were supposed to be in the area. It was supposed to be like this end of Virginia that was Cherokee territory. But I'd never heard of Yuchi people. So yeah. We got, it has a Google map, shows you all the different territories and stuff where they're supposed to be. So yeah. And then of course we have a Wikipedia article. And yeah, we have some Native American flags and stuff. It's got a lot more information than that, but I always thought this was interesting. So, where they've got the different seals and flags for the different nations. But yeah. Anyway, the vast number of tribes, I'm trying to get you to understand, there's more than just, oh, you're a Native American. There's a lot of different background, different tribes. So much. But with this kind of little introduction done, Wednesday we'll be breaking down into actual looking at the people. Notable names and stuff. But with this said, as always, educate thyself, think, read, study, learn. Someone tells you something you have trouble believing, ask them to cite their sources. I'll be putting my links and sources in the description box below the video. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you all in the next one. Until then, later.